Hi, welcome to Sachin Study Tech. Today topic is data types. Data types in Java. So basically data types are two types, primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types is divided into four categories. The first one is integer type, second one is floating point type, third one is character, and next one is boolean type. So here integer type is byte, short, int and long. Here the floating point is float and double, character is char, boolean is boolean. So here these are non-primitive types: class, interface, arrays and string, and enum also. Enum, enumerated type. So enum also, these are the non-primitive types. So here the basically non-primitive types is that the non-primitive type of value is stored in heap area. So here it is, for example, here it is a JVM. Here this space is heap space. Here it is a stack space. Now for example, any local variable value will be stored in stack area. Okay, any object the value will be stored in heap area. Okay, now we can discuss what is the size of each and every one, what is the size and the range of that. So integer type, integer, here it is a byte and short and int and long. So these integers are signed and unsigned. That means it can store positive value and negative value. Sign means it is a negative value, unsigned means it is a positive value. So for example, here the byte is, what is the size of the byte? Size and range. What is the size of the byte? Here it is 1 byte. Here short is 2 bytes. Int is 4 bytes. Here long is 8 bytes. Okay, what is the range? So range is minus 2 power 7 to 2 power 7 minus 1. Why it is 2 power minus 2 power 7? Here it is 8 bits. 1 byte means 8 bits. 8 bits, right? So here it is, in these 8 bits, this MSB bit, for example, here this is the MSB bit, most significant bit. This most significant bit indicates the sign bit. That means the sign bit is, here it is 0 or 1. 1 indicates the positive value. 1 indicates the positive value here. 0 indicates the positive. 0 indicates the positive value. 1 indicates the negative value. 0 indicates the positive. 1 indicates the negative. So here this MSB bit indicates the sign bit. So that's why here you can consider only 7 bits instead of 8 bits, right? So what is the size here? Range of this sort here minus 2 power, here it is 15. 1 bit is a sign bit, that's why you can consider only 15 bits here. This is the range of this sort. Here it is the integer 31, 2 power 31 to 2 power 31 minus 1. This is the range of integer. And long, here it is minus 2 power 63 to 2 power 63 minus 1. Okay, this is the range of the integer. And a floating point. So floating points is also it can store the positive and negative values, right? Here it is a float and a double. The float is 4 bytes and double is 8 bytes. So what is the range here? Minus 3.4 e power 38 to 3.4 e power 38. So this is the range of the float. Minus 1.7 e power 308 to 1.7 e power 308. So this is the range of the double. So float is here 5 to 6 precision. 5 to 6 precision. After decimal points you can display the 5 to 6. Here the double is 15 to 16. Double is 15 to 16 precisions. So this is the type here. Another one is the character. So character is only unsigned. That means here it is a 2 bytes. Character is 2 bytes. So what is the range here? The character range is 0 to 2 power. Here it is a 16. This is the character range. And the boolean, okay, memory is not applicable. Here it can store either true or false. Either true or false. In theoretically it can say that it is a 1 bit. In practically it is 1 byte. It allocates the memory by the JVM. It is JVM dependent. So generally it is not applicable memory. Here it is either it can store true or false. That is the boolean type. So these are the 8 primitive data types. So this character here it is this is the starting value. Here it is 0. Here the ending value of this one is, this is the ending value. Here the character. Now so how to know that what is the range of the character or any of the data type, primitive data type, right? You can see here, just if you want to print integer maximum value and minimum value, just you have to print integer min value, right? Integer dot min value, right? Here also can print integer max value. To print integer dot max value. Just you have to save this program. Now we can run java c space, what is the file name, test dot java. Okay, then you can run that program java and the class name is test. Here you can see what is the minimum value. So this is the minimum value, this is the maximum value. Like that. Here for example, if you want to know minimum value and maximum value, right? Here it is, for example, what is the minimum value of the byte? What is the minimum value of the byte? What is the maximum value of the byte? Here you can see what is the maximum value of the byte. Maximum and minimum value of the byte. Now you can check. Just you can compile that program. Okay, you can run that program. Here you can see what is the minimum value. So minimum value is minus 128, right? So how can say that the range is minus 2 power 7, minus 2 power 7. 2 power 7 value is 128. So that is minus 128. So 2 power 7 minus 1. So that is the maximum value is 127. That is. So likewise we have to find out the range of all the data types. Okay. write int byte integer byte, and for example here the long type also how to find. Now you can check what is the minimum value of the float min value. Now I have to check what is the minimum value of the float dot. So minimum value, maximum value of the float, you can check float max value. Float. Okay. Now how to compile that program, then you can run that program here. You can see 1.4 e power minus 45, this is the minimum value. Maximum value is 3.4, so here you can see e power 38. So this is the maximum value. What is the value are discussed here, so you can expand that. You can see this is the value. Likewise here also, if you want to see the maximum and minimum value of the, for example here it is character min value, you can see the character min value. Just you have to, without, for example you can see what is the character dot min value. Just you have to print what is the character of the min value, here it is. And also likewise here you can print character value of the max value, have to print max character maximum value. So here instead of you can print the range, here just you can print the character, minimum character and maximum character, right? Here you can see. So already you are discussed, this is the point 0 0 0, and here it is, you can see /u fff. So here the character maximum value is, so it can print here like this. Just you have to save this program, just you can compile that program here, just you can run that program. Now you can see the minimum value is 0, that means null character. Okay, maximum value it can print. Now it can print that value, just you can print that value here. Instead of you can printing the character, you can print the range of that. What is the range of that integer character, here the minimum value and maximum value. So just you have to print the range of the character. Now just you can compile the program. Now can run that program. Here you can see, so what is the minimum value? The minimum value of the character is 0 and the maximum value of the character is 65535. Okay, so this is the minimum and maximum characters. Likewise you have to print the default value of the primitive data types, right? For example here the byte b, okay, byte b, like for example here it is float f, char ch, and for example boolean. Just I can print that only few primitive data types. You have to print all the primitive data types like this. Boolean b. So this is the primitive data types. Byte, just to have to print short some s, and integer type here I, and the long type here it is long some l, like here you can print the double, right, double some d. So how to print, these are the instance variables. Instance variable directly cannot access in that static block or static method. So through this instance variable can access through the object. So you can create the object for the test class obj new class name test. Now how to print that value. Here it is. You can print the default values of all the primitive data types. So what is the value here? For example, byte default value. Okay, just I am writing here. It is default values of system dot out dot println default values of primitive data type. All primitive data types, right? You have to print that value here. For example, obj dot b, right? You can print that value, byte value, default value of byte. obj dot here it is s, obj dot here it is integer value. I am consider I is the integer variable here. obj dot here it is long, and obj dot here it is float, and obj dot double. Here it is boolean bo, already b is declared here, that's why I am consider. Next, character. So here it is obj dot ch, right? Here system dot out dot println. Now you have to print like obj dot bool type. What is the default value of the boolean data type? Right here, just you have to print the default values of all primitive types. So now we can see you can compile that program, then you can run that program. Here you can see the default value is, first one is byte, that is 0, and short it is 0, int it is 0, and long value the default value is 0, and float 0.0, and double 0.0. Here the character, it can print the null character. Okay, null character, so that's why it cannot see here. And boolean, the default value is false. Okay, so this is the default values of all the primitive types. Now, so how can take that value here? For example, what is the value here? You can see system dot, so I am taking integer I, right? Start using that. How to take that value here? Just how can assign that values? You can see just you have to print that values. So you can declare the variables, primitive types, primitive data types, all these types, all here you can see. So the byte is, what is the range here? For example, I am consider 127. So I am assigning the value here, it is for example 25. Right, integer here it is 1 2 3 4 2 3 4 5. Like here you can give the value here. Here f is, you can see what is the difference here. For example, I am consider here it is a 4.9. so what is the problem here? You can see, just I am assigning here it is some 6.8. what is the character here? It is, for example, the character here it is S. The by default it is a, for example, true. Okay, just you have to print that. But here in this program, here you can see one compile time error is there. So what is the type error? You can see here. The semicolon. Okay, then again we have to run that program, compile that program. Here you can see error, incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from double to float. What is the meaning of this? Double to float means, for example, if you can give this 4.9, by default it is a double type. Here you can see a type mismatch cannot convert from double to float. That means without having any suffix here, so the by default it is a treated as a double. So if you want to give this is, so now it is okay. Okay, now we can check. Okay, there is no error, then you can run that values. So we can print that value here, you can see. Okay, so what is the problem here? So if we are not giving any suffix here, by default it is treated as a double type. That is the error. Either you can suffix is small f or capital F. Okay, no problem. Here also you can give like double D, small d or capital D. Here also, for example, in long also you can specify either suffix is small l or capital L here. So in that case also there is no problem here. But whenever you can assign some floating point value to that, by default it is treated as a double type. That's why you can suffix is mandatory for, you can declare, you can assign the value to the float variable, right? So this is the basic concept of primitive data type. Like here it is also non-primitive type, you know already. String is a non-primitive type. So for example, name, just I am here it is Satyam, this is my name. So if you want to print this, here also you can print the name also. This is non-primitive data type. So this non-primitive data type stored in heap area, right? Just you have to print that name. You can compile that program here, you can run that program here, you can see. So okay, just you have to slash n here. That's why we can take the new line, compile and run that program. Here you can see. So the name is Satyam. Okay, this is the values of the all primitive and non-primitive data type. String is a non-primitive data type, right? So this is the example program. Later session we have discussed in detail about all the remaining topics. Thank you for watching this video.